Hello and welcome back. It has been a long time, and we have two veterans of our pod, Anil Jain and Aditya. Both of them are coming back after a long break, like RCB. And this is the first time I'm talking to them after RCB has won championship. So we'll get the reactions. But the reason why we are here is to talk about our Edgbaston Test, which is test number 2 for a 5 match series of India versus England. Nicely poised. I think India are in a super good position, but we will get all the reactions. Firstly, Aditya and Anil Jain, welcome back. I need both of your reactions from RCB victory for IPL. So let's start with Anil Jain.
I'm very happy about it. They played like a team, unlike in the past season where it was only focused about one player and his friendship with the foreign players. That was all about RCB and the PR game, right? But here it was actually the entire team who contributed, and it felt like a nice team winning a tournament after a long time. Uh, so yeah, that was a good thing. It was won by a team rather than by a person, and I've been saying that from very long time that RCB as such they just focus on one person on the PR part. The management were happy about they getting. Oh, I'm tired actually. It's kind of late here in India, but yeah. Having said that, yeah, definitely happy for RCB. Happy for the RCB fans. They also deserve this victory after waiting for good 17 odd years. But yeah, my only always issue with RCB was it was much focused on a single person PR rather than building a team. They were building around that one person. So yeah.
We have to ask, Adi is the most special person for all the RCB fans. So we have to get his reaction on the record. So Adi, RCB winners of 2025 IPL.
Yeah, so it has built up, right? It's not like they won out of the blue. I think last 2 to 3 seasons, or I think 4 seasons, they've been consistently going to playoffs. The coach is more tactical minded. To Anil's point, they've built a team now in terms of focus on bowling. So if you see this season why they won, it's just I will say batting's never been a problem for RCB in the past as well. They'll score the runs, but the bowlers will concede even more. So this season they bought in Bhuvi. They got him for a steal. Like they got lucky. They didn't get Venki Iyer. They had money for day two. Bhuvi came in day two. Most of the teams had exhausted their purse. So they got Bhuvi and they got Hazelwood and they got Krunal Pandya. So these were the main three bowlers who probably won them 4 or 5 matches, right? So and they're all experienced, they're consistent. They might have one bad over, but they'll not give 4 over 60 runs. They will come back and they will, pull it back to 35 or 40, even if they give 15, 20 in an over. And then I was personally surprised that Yash Dayal continued to do well, right? Like I thought he was a one season wonder, but with his variations, he also gave good support. So then the bowling bases are covered, right? So you got Andy Flower in the think tank, you got DK as well, who's been in like teams which have won and know strategies, right? And he also the Freddie Wild, who's like a pretty good T20 analyst and strategist. So they did like their homework well. They bought like a lot of all-rounders. Like some of them didn't work. Like Liam Livingston did not work, but Romario clicked at the right time for them. Krunal obviously clicked, right? Phil Salt was like a good buy to give the impetus because if one person's anchoring, you need like the other person to go at like 200 strike rate, which Phil Salt was doing. So it worked out like despite, right? Because if you look at the final as well, I personally felt it was a below par score. It was not really like at par. One batsman was anchoring or like playing slower, but it worked out because Punjab choked or like the bowling was good. So in the end, it worked out. Happy for them, happy for their fans. Finally, they also have something to celebrate about, right? Like now, they also have a cup. Which is a good thing, but let's see how it goes in the future, right? Like now they have to plan the franchisee
Yeah.
moving forward with this. Rajat Patidar, I would want to call it out as well. I thought like egg on my face because I thought he might struggle because it's his first season, but he kept a level head on his shoulders. He made like good calls. I still believe Jitesh Sharma was not a great captain, despite like what people calling him, right? But he played that crucial knock in the final, and like I think in one more must-win match for their last match as well. So everything kind of came together. Patidar also captaincy was good, so nothing else to say, right? Like we have to praise when they play well, right, Sayed? So we are not, definitely me and Anil are not the RCB fans or the biggest RCB fans you can see, but at the end of the day, they played some good cricket.
Yeah.
Strategy was right. Their auction strategy was good. Their during the playing combination strategy was good, right? And it just goes on to show that ballers win you championships. Like batsmen will give you like the orange cap and like the retweets and likes on Instagram, but the bowlers are the ones who's going to win you championships. So glad RCB found that out. The eventually is what I'll say, but it's good. Like we have a strong RCB now. Next season will be really good. Wish he could come. It would be great, but
Yeah.
I think we have to move on to the test match now.
We should, and spot on. I think I was going to top both of your comments saying RCB got it right with the bowling. So bowlers won the tournament, and Bhuvi, the Hazelwood, the Krunal Pandyas, which you mentioned, even the Suyansh Sharma. I think those guys were the difference. But congratulations, RCB. Let's move on to India versus England, which is the most crucial stage of second test we are in. They say moving day three. Firstly, Adi, let's start with the team selection because you had a lot of opinions, like always, and we also do. So, Jasprit Bumrah out, Nitish Kumar Reddy coming in, Akashdeep came in, and Washington Sundar. So, firstly, what do you think of the playing 11 for second test?
Do see like at the end of the day, you bowlers have to bowl well and take wickets, and fielders have to catch, right? So I'll get to the Bumrah topic later, but like the other playing 11, I think was fair. It was not amazing, but given the context of we collapsed twice and that really cost us the match. Like had we even not collapsed once, we could have drawn the first test, right? Or we could have given like 450 target and maybe England would have not been able to chase it given the time, or maybe they could have been all out. So from that perspective, I kind of agree why Washington Sundar played over Kuldeep. Even in this first innings, had we not had Washington Sundar, we probably could have been 450, 460 all out, and we wouldn't have been in this commanding position where we find ourselves now, like 587, right? So that's one. Shardul was really poor. If Shardul even contributed in one of the four innings, he would have been playing this test. Like he failed twice with the bat, he failed twice with the ball, like no control, giving 6+ RPO. So I agree he was kicked out. Sai was a mistake, in my opinion, to play him in the first test. So they corrected that mistake. You can't like put in a player on debut at number 3 in England, right? Like, and that's like too much, in my opinion. So they corrected that mistake. Nitish kind of came in because Shardul was poor. Nitish played like a horrible shot, but it's fine. Like the playing 11 balance wise, it's fine. And who else? Like, okay, now coming to Bumrah, right? So I am a bit confused or perplexed how he can't play the second test while having like an 8-day gap. Fine, if he wants to manage workload, he wants to play 3 or 4 tests. He doesn't want to play all. Maybe I don't know the scans. I don't know what medical doctors have told him. But any player playing a test, 8-day gap, you would assume the series is live. Your team is down 1-0. If you lose this match, you're down 2-0, and it's really hard to come back from 2-0. I would think the internal motivation and the team should have pushed, or Bumrah from himself had to be like, no, I will play this test. Let's say if I am not, I'm not fully fit for the third test, which is 4 days after this, I will take a break for that. But I felt it was more like, no, Lords is like this iconic game. Maybe Bumrah wanted to get on the honors board, or obviously Lords, the pitch will do more than what it does at Edgbaston, but you have to take in like that whole series context. So personally, as a fan, I was really disappointed in Bumrah for taking that decision, whether be it management. And I'm sure if Bumrah says, no, I want to play this test, management will not say no, right? He's such a player of his stature that it's not like he's fighting for his player spot in the playing 11. He's one of the first players whom you'll write after captain and vice captain, right? So let's see. I'm really overjoyed by how Akashdeep and Siraj especially stepped up. So fingers crossed. I think Bumrah will have some thinking to do when we win this test match, if and when we win this test match. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
Anil?
and Anil, I'll come to you, but firstly, on the day of Test Match Day One, I was exactly same thoughts as Adi. My thoughts slightly changed after seeing Akashdeep today, but Anil, please come in. What do you think of the playing 11 and then, of course, the Bumrah decision?
I mean, I would have still replaced Prasid Krishna with Arshadip. I mean, that would have been one of my change. And I don't want to go too hard on Shardul Thakur because he did his hard work earlier. He had a good domestic season, good IPL, also decent IPL. Plus, he played really well against the. I mean, when he was part of India 18. Uh, it's just that nobody kind of. I mean, your main bowlers didn't really contribute. Your Siraj and Prasid, when they open their bowling in the first Test match, and Shadub, he actually opens up bowling for Mumbai, right? So he's also more of a seam bowler. So when you bring him after 40, 50 odd overs on this flattest track ever built, with the ball not doing anything, you can't expect a lot from him. Yes, a little bit of batting was expected from him, and that's why a decent substitution in Washington Sundar, and he proved it right. Right, he had a really great partnership with Shubham Gill, and bowling again, it was the same contribution what Washington had and what Shardul Thakur had, right? So it's kind of even out that way, but at least the batting part was covered. Bumrah, I mean, there's not much to add from my end. What Adi has already mentioned. Uh, I mean, you are so from an individual point of view, you would like to take care of your career, your fitness. It could be some kind of an injury where it kind of harm your future altogether. So from an individual perspective, it could make sense. But when did the management start listening to player as such about who's going to sit out and who's not going to, right? I mean, the whole point of Gambhir having a management, he being strict or he being straightforward, was trying to do as per the coach or as per the management thinking process. So how is that the Bumrah is allowed to sit out and make his own decisions as such, right? Nevertheless, I mean, that's a chapter that has to be left behind now, and I hope he does well in Lords. And I hope he kind of comes back for the fourth Test match also, in case if we win this one and if we win Lord's Test match. So let's have nail in the coffin in the fourth Test match and gets done and dusted, and then he can have his holiday and extended holiday as such if he needs one. But yeah, we have grown up with watching people like Ganguly, Dravid, Sachin, right? And we know what kind of phase they have gone through. How Sachin has played throughout throughout his career with injuries. So we kind of expect the same kind of commitment from these young bowlers, from the young players also, which I think is not going to happen anymore. I think everyone is going to be looking at their individual career. Plus, IPL is where they make their money right now. So you can't even really go doubting, okay, hey, you play IPL, but you're not playing Test match. It's not going to happen anymore. It's happening across the world right now. Players are targeting T20 career rather than having a spot in the Test match squad.
Yeah.
So that's about. Yeah.
So that's about Bumrah. But coming to batting, Adi, both Test matches, forget about the tail, but the top four, top five, I am super pleased because I had zero hopes coming in, especially Shubman Gill making a statement that I want to be the best batter in this series before the series started, and he has a century, double hundred. So thoughts on Shubman Gill, like Syed is asking.
No, I'm okay. I think pre-series also in our chat, I was the one who was more confident of our batting because of two reasons. One, the pitches are very flat. Two, England bowling is not that threatening. Having said that, they've exceeded my expectations. I didn't think they will score like so many centuries. I think what, like now we have like 6 centuries already in two tests, a double century, first test 5 centuries. So they've done really well. This is the thing, right? If you navigate the first 20 overs with the new ball, if you navigate the first 20 overs with the new ball, then the next 60 overs are like easy runs for taking because the ball isn't moving, pitch is flat, outfield is super fast. And even in Edgbaston, they brought in the boundaries by 10, 15 meters, right? It felt as if you're watching a women's match where they will bring in the boundary, right? So they brought in the boundary. They're playing to their advantage, which is totally fair. All good. But Yeah, so really happy. And as I had mentioned, finally number four is contributing for India after like what, 5 years or 6 years? I lost count now, but glad that Gill has slotted in. I thought he will do well, Gill, but I obviously didn't expect he will do this well, right? Like he scored like 100 and a double 100, 269. So hopefully he continues scoring, and he has like a massive series with like 800 runs, right? Like two tests in, three innings, already 400. Hopefully one more 50 plus score loading in this innings, and then you've got three more tests. And I think the pitches will continue to be flat. And we should just double down on it. Like we need to control the runs in the. We'll get to our bowling, but like essentially the control is missing in the middle overs, right? Because in our openers are doing well, our top six, top seven are doing well in the last test as well. It's just that we need our tail to just hang around with like that one batter, and we'll do really well for the rest of the series as well. Like that's how I see this series being very competitive. Like I know people in the chat before the series were like India will lose 5-0, India will lose like every match, India will lose in 3 days. First test we went to like the last hour, right? Fine, like we lost, which is bad. But pre-series expectations versus how the team played first test, it exceeded everyone's expectations, right? Now, let's see. I will not talk till on this test till we actually win it, because you never know what might happen. England might chase 450 on the last day, so fingers crossed. But batting's been solid, and even today, like Amit, who's in our group, Amit Gupta, he was on the
Yeah.
ground. He was saying like literally as soon as England got all out, it was bright and sunny. The clouds came in. It was like dark. It was like lights are on. It started like raining a bit, but still, kudos to all three, right? Top order. They navigated it really well. It could have been worse. We could have been like 30 for two, but no, we took like that positive approach. We got like the 70 odd runs. Fine, Jaiswal got out, but Rahul, Jaiswal, and even Karun, they looked solid. And if you play out with this ball the first 20 overs again, 25, 30 overs, then you got Gill and Pant in form. We can like, score quickly tomorrow, hopefully in the second session. Second session is where the ball will be older. Hopefully there's sun, because tomorrow there's no forecast of rain. We can score like the 200, which England scored today in that second session. So fingers crossed. And then you can declare.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Jaiswal on the top. He's making a difference, and KL Rahul's maturity. I think we have a perfect opening pair on top of it on the test matches, and Gill coming through is absolutely crucial. Karun Nair's Anil Jain is going to be a important innings. This one, I think, if he can contribute, team will also be in a better position. Plus, he probably has potential of playing all the five tests. So let's talk Karun and also Anil. I'm interested to hear your views on Siraj's performance and Akashdeep coming in, because those two with the second new ball pretty much cleared up the England tail with less than 50 runs for 5 wickets. So, your thoughts?
So starting to speak about Karun Nair, I think I'm really happy with his inclusion, because in the first inning he got a beamer of a ball, unexpected, but he looked decent when he was there in the crease, and he looked decent right now also. I think he covered the tricky part very well, and also another small bit. I mean, we kind of really value it after the first Test match is him having safe hands in the slip cordon. I mean, he took two catches, and it looked like the safest of slip catches I would have taken in the last. Uh, I don't know how many matches per se, but it looks it looks so safe and so clean, and it wasn't that it traveled with a lot of pace. So that's something I'm really happy with. Karunaya in the slip cordon. About performance from Siraj and Akashdeep, I wasn't expecting the same kind of performance from Siraj. I think he kind of hugged an egg on my face. I didn't want him to be part of the squad as such, but I think he proved most of his critics wrong. Um, Akashdeep, I think, is a perfect replacement, you could say, for Mohammad Shami. His seam position, the way he uses the pitch very well, I think it's a fantastic. I mean, if in the next Test match, if we have Bumrah back, and I think India has a very very good chance to take a lead in the last Test match also in the series. Very happy with the way Akash did, and Siraj has bowled right. And it takes only two players. I mean, you look at the England squad also. You had only two batters scoring. They score almost 80-90% of the scores, and you have five batsmen who have scored zero. Same way with our bowling performance, we had two by our bowlers who bowled their heart out, and that's what mattered.
Yep. And Adi, hindsight, right? Again, this is hindsight. The pitch was absolutely flat, or is still Edgbaston. So, is this probably a smart decision by resting Bumrah, because he would have slogged his backside for 5 days, and then Lords another 5 days? You still feel he should have played?
I still okay. Imagine this: you would have dropped Rasid for Bumrah. Hmm? However horrible he would bowl, he would not go for 6 runs and over and take 0 wickets. Hmm? That's one. And with Bumrah, he would probably open the bowling, and then you might have had Siraj at bowling one change. Hmm? So it would have been much better. And my larger point is, you are not putting your best playing 11, and you're taking a chance that you might go down 2-0 in a 5 match series. That is my only point, right? Like you have to put your, and you had an 8 day break. Hmm? Like, I'm not saying, if it was a back to back test match, I would totally agree. Like, Bumrah, boss, relax. We need you not to break down. You're playing like back to back flat decks, 3 day break, 4 day break. Exactly. So if you go to BGT or Australia, this is what Australia does really smart, right? Like, it's not like Stark, Cummins, and Hazelwood are not injury prone. All of them actually get injuries. Like, Cummins had like an injury for about 6 years, didn't play, he was breaking down, didn't play a test match. What they smartly do is they even don't play the random Champions Trophy, right? They're like, this isn't worth our effort to go and play. Mm. They don't play any random bilateral T20. Or bilateral ODI series. They will just come and focus on the marquee test matches, the ICC trophies that matter for them. And Stark is, 35 now. Bumrah and Cummins are of same age. Hazelwood is obviously older. So they never drop them, right? Like, they continue to play. Even
Aussies
Australia, like
always,
Boland.
yeah, Aussies always prioritize Test cricket.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
we should
India
as well,
plays
right? Like,
against.
okay, think this. I'm still telling this in the group as well, right? 5 years down the line, would you remember a random T20 or ODI bilateral series? Or, as an Indian fan, at least I will speak for myself, is I will only remember two things. One, how many ICC trophies we've won, and two, how many test series we've won in Sena, right? Those are the only things in the longer term. 3 years, 5 years later, you will just think about them. Do you not want to prioritize playing them? Hmm? And after this fighter series, Bumrah can chill at home, recover from injury, whatever, for 6 months, not like 2 months, 3 months, because the next series that matters for us is the T20 World Cup in India in February. There are two test matches for South Africa and India, I think in November, December, or something. But even if he doesn't play that, it's fine, right? Like, he can skip everything. He can. There's a limited over series in Australia. I'm sure he will go there, which is stupid. He shouldn't, right? There are ODIs and like T20s. Bumrah can just come in and play the ICC tournament. You don't need for him to have like, oh, he needs to continue to play all the main T20 series leading up to it. So that's my take. Even if I would take the risk, even if he breaks down, he can recover for 4 5 months, then come back, win the T20 trophy, defend it, then chill, don't play IPL, or play IPL if you want. Like, fine, it's too much money. I understand. Like, people can practically skip IPL, but after that as well, skip 4 5 months, like, relax, right? So that's how I would look at it. But obviously, BCCI with its commercial interests wants top players playing as much as they can. All those things, like, I don't agree with, but that's my simple point. You only
But I think
ICC
BCCI
trophies.
will. Sorry to interrupt. I think BCCI will get a wake up call. I think you don't need star players to promote a series or people to get glued to the TV after this test match. You don't have
Correct.
star players in the Indian team, and it's still full house in the stadium. We have people talking about this test match. Everyone is still watching this test match. So I think the star power thing. I think BCCI makes a bold statement. What matters is your main series, your main ICC trophies, as Aditya mentioned.
Yeah, just focus on things that matter, learn from Australia, focus on like the main trophies. And yeah, like, you wouldn't see Cummins or leave Cummins, he's the captain, but you wouldn't see Stark or Hazelwood taking a break in between Ashes, right? Like I'll play only three Ashes Test matches. I'll take a break in between. So that doesn't happen. So hopefully, the other thing is, let's say, fingers crossed, we win this match. Bumrah also realizes, what am I doing, right? Like, why am I sitting on the bench when I could have been part of this historic victory? And that, my silver lining is, hopefully that pushes him to continue to play all the three matches. Screw it. This is important. He will see how much, if and when we win, he will, hopefully he gets that realization, and even the teams get that realization. Let's see.
Yep. And Anil Jain and Adi, 244 lead, 2 more days left. Pitch seems decently well outside of the new ball. So, what are your thoughts? What should India set for England as target, knowing them? And secondly, even if we get to say 500 as a target, how Ben Stokes and McCullum speak is they always would want to win. So, do you think England will chase? So, do 2 points. So, Anil Jain, maybe start with you.
I think yeah, we it looks favored in India's way, because if we keep a target of 500, it becomes almost next to impossible to chase such a big target, given the amount of time also left. And maybe there's some kind of assistance. I think we saw when Jadeja and Kuldeep bowl. I think it kind of spin a little bit, and there was some variations we could see. So maybe not that easy. But what England has smartly done is that they've kept the fielding, the ground size small, 60 meters. So even if they try to, try mishit a spinner, reverse sweep or kind of a sweep thing, it will still end up going to a boundary, right? So England, no doubt, they are going to chase it. But I have to point this out. I think here England keeps talking about spirit of the game being a gentleman's game. I think they're spoiling the entire the way Test match needs to be played. You're just giving flat. I mean, so what happens? Say 5 years. I mean, see what happens if the Ashes also gets played in the same way, and in this five Test match, you have your tongue, cars, and Vokes are tired, because you look at England bowling unit, they've bowled for good 5 sessions, and today 6 sessions, right? At some point of time, the bowlers are also going to say, hey, guys, we need something from the wickets, right? So England also needs to think about what kind of pitches they prepare, what kind of strategy they have. But yeah, definitely said we're going to score 250 odd runs in 2 sessions. Ideally, we should have 500 and have 4 sessions in our hand to get England all out. England will definitely go for a win, no doubt, because you saw what they did today. And like Adi mentioned earlier, also between 30 to 80, the ball can be hit by anyone, right? It's not going to be a tricky phase to bat during those overs, unless you have something from the pitch assisting spinners.
Okay. So 500 is a must. Anything below that, I think
Yeah.
England will go after. So we have 2 days left. If the weather permits, Adi, what's your view? 1-1 or 2-0 England?
So we need to score really fast tomorrow. Like I think first session you can play out like at 4 RPO, but the second session we need to score at like 6+ runs per over. The earlier we get to 500, the better it is. Like the lead 450, 500, minimum 450. If you're giving the target under 450, they will chase it, right? Or if we have a collapse and if we don't do well, so that's one. Ideally, you should have like a 550 target and give them 4 sessions, full 4 sessions. So tomorrow we need to score really quickly and then hope for the best, right? Because it's hard to chase 500. If they do end up chasing it, kudos to them. Like, like no regrets. But for us to have enough overs to bowl them out, we need to make sure we score very quickly in the second session tomorrow. Like how England scored 200 odd runs in the second session today, 175 or 200, where I think Jamie Smith scored 100 in just one session. We need Pant or, Gill or Nitish or whoever to have that aggressive role and score runs quickly, so that puts more pressure on England. Like if you put 450 target, they might as well chase it in 4 sessions. So you kind of have to take the game so far away from them that they're not able to chase that. And
Yeah.
if they, yeah, like to Syed's point, if they chase 450, Like there's no way. Like the mental scar will be so deep that I don't see India coming back into the series, right? So
Yeah,
that's why you need like 500, and it'll be fun. I actually hope they chase well and it's like a close match. Like then it'll go to day 5 again and it's like interesting, right? Like the first test. So fingers
yeah,
crossed.
yeah. According to me, the only, I mean, at least the large part of fast scoring would have been Jaiswal. He got out today. Tomorrow, KL Rahul and Karun Nair, I just hope they don't go back into the shell and play out the first two sessions or something like that. That will be disaster. I just hope that they are not playing for the draw. Let them score, even if it is 4 runs over. If Karun and KL can get us to like 350 lead and one of them gets out, Gill comes and scores a little faster. But I just hope India batters are not pushing for the draw, which is my only thought process. Anil, what do you think about that?
I think only one player I'm worried about who can try to push for a draw in the current unit. I think the rest of them can easily score above 4 runs in a.
Yeah, I think once conditions get flatter in the second session, that's when we'll have to cash in, right?
I think the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
wait for another 15 overs. Just watch out those 15 overs more, and I think then it should be fine. Even in those during those 15 overs, it's not gonna be like you're gonna score only at 2 runs and over. You're gonna get one ball on your pads where you can flick it and you can get an easy boundary as such, right? So at least 4 runs and over, and then after that, I mean, in the first inning, I think one would feel like he missed out on an easy 50 or 100, like a fast pace, given how easy it was to bat, right? So Pant would like to bat, kind of score 60 balls, 70 ball, 100. What he did for LSG in the last match or so, right?
And one call Adi already made before we drop, that Gill probably will be 800, 900 runs. That'll be awesome. But we are on second test, right? I want both of you to
You know,
tell me huh, what's
sorry,
that?
just to point, I mean, yeah, about Shubham Gill's batting, right? I mean, you look at how he overcame his flaws from earlier Test matches, right? This inning was, I mean, irrespective of how flat or how weak the bowling unit was, his shots, his batting was in proper control. I think 96% of the deliveries he faced out of 300 was under his control, right? And that speaks volumes about how good he has become. I mean, you look at his past average, it doesn't give a clear picture, right, of how good he has become. So yeah, 800, 900 would be awesome to have, and I hope England realize that he scored a brilliant double century, and they end up congratulating him, which they missed to do that in the first innings.
Yeah, and while we are at it, what will be the series result? It's already 1-0 now, but end of five series. Anil,
I think it could be 2-1.
2-1
Yeah,
who?
2-1 now. India.
India 2-1?
Yeah, I mean, after today's test match,
Wow.
we can end up winning. And Lord is a ground where it favors bowlers, and the way Akashdev, Siraj, and Bumrah are bowling, you can expect them to, I mean, have an upper hand. So that would be Lords, and maybe one of the fourth or fifth test match could be a draw or something like
Okay. Adi?
that, right?
I think there'll be that many draws, maybe max one draw. Each match will see a result because I don't know, like the thing is we are scoring so many runs, but we are scoring them in so few overs. So that's moving the match along, and you never know. So I would say it depends a lot on this test match. If India wins this test match, then I can see us winning 3-2. Hmm? If India loses this test match, then probably England will win 4-1. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Or
All right.
3-2, or like again, it will be close. Like it will not be one sided or 5-0, or like even if we lose the matches, they are closer matches. They're not like, oh, you lose by innings or 400 runs or 200 runs.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I'm figuring it out in the second test, day three, that the teams are much more closer than what we thought at the start of the series. So it will be close games. They won't be one-sided wins. But anyway, Anil Jain, I know it's late in the India region, so thanks for joining in. We'll talk tomorrow again, Adi. Nice to have you back, bro. Both of you, great thoughts on RCB and England Test match. We'll come back again tomorrow on day four, hopefully with a better result proposition. But thanks for joining in, everybody. Syed, thanks for the engagement, and we will talk later. Thanks for watching. Ciao, everyone.
Thank you for having us.